Yuichi Kimura stood silently on the bustling Tokyo platform, his mind swirling with a mix of anger and grief. His son, Wataru, was in a hospital bed, clinging to life after being pushed off a rooftop by a cruel hand. In his pocket was a photo of Wataru, a reminder of the joy that now felt so distant. Across the tracks, the sleek bullet train gleamed in the station's fluorescent lights, its doors sliding open invitingly. Yuichi knew that his answers and his revenge lay aboard that train. His father, the elder, had given him a single piece of advice: face your enemies without hesitation. The moment the train doors closed behind him, Yuichi knew there was no turning back. Further down the train, a different kind of tension brewed. Ladybug, a seasoned assassin trying to reform himself, adjusted his earpiece and listened as his handler Maria outlined his mission. Retrieve the briefcase, stay discreet, and get off at Kyoto, she instructed. It's just a simple job. But nothing was ever simple for Ladybug. His track record was riddled with chaos, accidents, and a string of unlucky breaks that left him questioning his career choice. Ladybug's stomach churned as he navigated the narrow aisles, his anxiety mounting with every step. He reminded himself to breathe, but he couldn't shake the feeling that this mission was doomed from the start. In another part of the train, two sharply dressed brothers, Lemon and Tangerine, argued loudly as they kept a close eye on a silver briefcase. Their assignment was to protect it, and the White Death's reckless son, who sat slumped in his seat, oblivious to the danger surrounding him. Lemon, who had an odd fascination with children's shows, compared their situation to a chaotic episode of Thomas the Tank Engine. Tangerine, the more serious of the two, dismissed his brother's musings, focusing on the task at hand. The brothers' partnership was built on years of camaraderie and bloodshed, but even they couldn't predict how messy this job would get. Elsewhere, a young woman with a seemingly innocent face observed the train's passengers. The prince, as she called herself, looked like a typical schoolgirl, but beneath her sweet exterior was a cold and calculated mind. She had plans that involved manipulating every assassin on the train to achieve her goal, the death of her estranged father, the White Death. Her meticulous schemes were already in motion, and she knew exactly how to use the people around her to get what she wanted. When Yuichi approached her, she didn't flinch. With a quick move, she tasered him, leaving him unconscious and under her control. As Ladybug reached the briefcase, he thought his luck had finally turned. But just as he grabbed it, chaos erupted. A man in a sharp white suit, known as the Wolf, stormed in with murder in his eyes. The Wolf blamed Ladybug for the death of his entire wedding party, including his bride, and launched into an attack without hesitation. Ladybug tried to explain, but the Wolf was too consumed by rage to listen. Their fight was brutal and frantic, with punches and knives flying in every direction. In a cruel twist of fate, the Wolf's own knife rebounded and stabbed him in the chest, ending his vendetta before it could truly begin. While Ladybug tried to catch his breath, the prince revealed her sinister intentions to Yuichi. She had orchestrated Wataru's fall to draw Yuichi to the train. Her ultimate goal was to assassinate the White Death, and she planned to use Yuichi as her pawn. To ensure his cooperation, she revealed that her henchman was holding Wataru hostage, ready to kill the boy if anything happened to her. Yuichi was trapped, forced to play along with the prince's deadly game. Meanwhile, Lemon and Tangerine discovered the White Death's son poisoned, his lifeless body slumped in his seat. Panic set in as they realized the briefcase was missing, and their mission was spiraling out of control. Their search led them to Ladybug, who became the prime suspect. The confrontation escalated into a violent brawl, with fists and weapons colliding in the cramped train car. Ladybug managed to knock Lemon unconscious but left the fight with more bruises than answers. Amid the chaos, another deadly player entered the scene. The Hornet, a master of poisons, had been hiding in plain sight, disguised as a train mascot. Her targets were many, but her ultimate goal aligned with the White Death's twisted plans. When Ladybug confronted her, their battle became a deadly game of cat and mouse. Both were exposed to her venom, but Ladybug managed to steal her antidote just in time, leaving the Hornet to die by her own poison. As the train hurtled toward Kyoto, Yuichi's father, the elder, boarded with quiet determination. He carried a katana and decades of experience as a former Yakuza enforcer. Recognizing the prince's voice, he saw through her lies immediately. The elder assured Yuichi that Wataru was safe thanks to an undercover bodyguard he had stationed at the hospital. With renewed purpose, Yuichi joined forces with his father and Ladybug to confront the White Death. The White Death finally appeared, revealing the horrifying truth behind the train's bloody journey. He had orchestrated the gathering of assassins as a twisted act of revenge for the death of his wife. One by one, he explained how each person aboard had played a role in her demise, from the Hornet poisoning her surgeon to the brothers killing his men in Bolivia. The train wasn't just a battlefield, it was a stage for his final act of vengeance. In the final moments, the booby-trapped briefcase exploded, throwing the White Death and his henchmen into chaos. The train derailed, crashing into the heart of Kyoto in a spectacular blaze of destruction. Amid the wreckage, the Elder faced the White Death in a climactic sword fight, their blades clashing with deadly precision. The fight ended with the White Death impaled on the Elder's katana, but his death wasn't the end of the carnage. The prince, desperate to claim her father's legacy, threatened the survivors with a machine gun, declaring herself the new White Death. But fate intervened once again. A passing fruit truck, driven by a vengeful lemon, struck her down, ending her ambitions in a poetic twist. As the dust settled, Ladybug stood among the wreckage, battered but alive. Maria arrived to retrieve him, her voice a mix of relief and amusement. For Ladybug, the job was over, but the chaos he had endured would stay with him forever.